Just by the second dot. Just by the second dot. Maybe it's all just curling a touch more.
Oh, I like the throw as well. Yeah.
Maybe all just curling a touch more.
Linea buona. Per Rama. Linea buona. Linea perfetta. Non spicca, no giù, mai giù, mai giù, mai giù, mai giù. Brava Mattia, bel tiro. 7-5.
Level with top 8. Mine's good. Mine's good.
Top 8.
Stay close. Clean.
Top 8 on your brush.
Clean. Close curl. 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa. No.
Shot me.
Linea buona. No, linea no. Linea buona. Linea perfetta. Sola, non serve Mattia.
Yep. Whoa.
Oh.
Yep. Yay.
Good try. Good throw.
Good evening, curlers. Look at us, we're a couple of minutes early. Oh, 8 teams on the ice. We're so excited to get going. They just rushed out and started playing. So here we are. We're at the quarter-final stage of BADEN Masters 2025. It's our 25th birthday. Happy birthday to us. We have 4 delicious quarter-finals out there for your Saturday evening entertainment. And our featured game on sheet 2. No, you're quite right, viewer. You did see this game already today. But they have ended up facing each other again in this quarter-final. It's just how it ends up, remember, at the end of the quarter-final stage, sorry, at the end of the round-robin stage, the teams are ranked 1 to 20. And regardless of which group you started off in, teams are ranked 1 to 20 and 1 to 8 progress to the quarter-finals. I shall give you the order. Top of the table. In place number 1, Schwaller's team. Then Bruce Mouat from Scotland. Philip Hoesli's team, sorry, Marco Hoesli skips the team from Switzerland. Joel Retornaz of Italy in 4, Ross Whyte in 5, Mark Muskatewitz of Germany in 6, Xiaoming Zhu of China in 7, and Yves Stocker of Switzerland in place 8. So 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. And that means in 4th place, Joel Retornaz takes on for the 2nd time today. In place 5, Ross Whyte. And if you were not able to join this morning, they played on sheet 4. What a game that was. Joel's team with an early loss to Isstoker on Friday evening. Joel's team absolutely had to win against Whyte. They needed to get that to get to 3 wins, and they did. Whyte's team has been in imperious form all weekend, but the Italians jumping out to a 4-0 lead and keeping their boot on the neck ever since. And their reward is a rematch. The Scots will be looking for revenge, I'm sure. And the Italians will be looking to make it 2 out of 2. So that's our featured game out there. Like I said, it was a cracker this morning, so we thought we'll make that the featured game this evening. On sheet 1, we have Marco Hoesli's team from Switzerland. They are taking on the German European champions with Muskatewitz. And what a game they had this afternoon. It was the Germans against local heroes, Brunner's team, and that went all the way to the wire. It was such an aggressive game. There were, I think, every shot, or rather every stone was in play every end, which we love to see. But finally, it was the Germans who set up a huge end at the 7th. So that was a winner takes all. Whoever won that game went to 3 wins. It was the Germans. And their reward is a game against Marco Hoesli's team, who won 4 out of 4 on their way here. On sheet 3, it is an all-Swiss affair, so we are guaranteed at least one Swiss team in the semi-final. It is top of the table, Yannick Schwaller's team. And they are against 8th placing Isstoker's team, who had a very nervy afternoon, who literally had to wait until the very last stone of the very last game out there on the round robin. But in a rather complicated fashion, they did end up finally qualifying in 8th place. So an all-Swiss affair on sheet 3, and finally on sheet 4. Finishing second in the table, it is Mouat, team from Scotland, the defending champions here, the world champions, and they are against the really up-and-coming team from China, skipped by Xiaoming Zhu, our only Asia-Pacific representatives at this competition. It was one of those years when you needed at least 3 wins, actually. As I said, Eve's team had a nervy afternoon waiting to see if they were going to qualify or not. Kyle Waddell's team was very, very close to getting to 3 wins with a better draw shot challenge. That would have eliminated them. Well, Kyle Waddell's team disappointed. Finally, they finish on 2 and 2. Not qualifying this time. We have 5 countries represented here in the quarterfinals.
Try to catch this one a touch thicker, just to miss this one.
Several of the Olympic teams.
It looks really thin. It's like a quarter stone.
Can you get this one onto the one at the back, the deepest one? Yeah. I just don't want to go.
I feel slightly bad for Whyte out there, because unfortunately for him, he's playing another one of my favourite teams in Joel Retornaz's Italian team.
This and the guard, I'm in the same spot.
Having been up against Isstoker on Friday afternoon.
You try if you want.
But for the sake of good crowning, we shall wish for a good game. It is the Scots throwing yellow who have the last stone in this first end. The Italians throwing red, and they have a couple of guards out front covering the 4-foot and 2 stones in the 4-foot behind. So both teams set up pretty nicely. Who is going to finish it off?
Whoa! Yep, yes!
And I always say, if you join one session only in a competition, make it the quarterfinals, because you have 4 outstanding games all going on at the same time. what better thing to do with your Saturday evening if you're in Europe, Saturday morning if you're in North America, and maybe you're having Sunday breakfast already if you're over in Asia Pacific. And we've been noticing this over the years actually, haven't we, that especially with the 5 rock free guard zone rule for this Olympic cycle, that's to encourage the game to be more aggressive, more stones in play, and that is exactly what we see, particularly with the top teams. You don't win games by being defensive, not anymore. We saw a couple of the junior teams playing this afternoon, the junior men's world champion versus the junior men's vice world champions. And just a little bit more conservative with their tactics, a little bit more defensive, and that is not how you beat these big teams. You really need to take chances, but you have to back it up as well. Not easy to stay at the top out there.
Close to the right side and maybe get that.
Joel's team from Italy, they already know they will represent at Olympics next year, which of course is in Italy. So they knew they were qualified as hosts, but they have also qualified as one of the top teams in the world. Ross Whyte's team back-to-back Scottish champions. But it is not simple being the best in Scotland, and it is actually Bruce Mouat's team from Scotland who will represent at Olympics, and we will finally see Ross Whyte's team at Worlds next year. So a huge throw from Ross Whyte with his first throw. He gets rid of both guards. Ooh, whoopsie. He has accidentally replaced his winger there with an Italian stone. Objectives in this first end pretty straightforward. As usual, with last stone, Scotland eager to score more than one with their one last stone, and Italy keen to stop them. So with that kind of half shot from Ross, not quite finding the right angles, I don't think there will be an opportunity for Scotland to make two, and that means it will be job done for Italy in the first end. 2 stones to go.
La slamar.
Same line then as his first shot. Joel's final throw in this first end. And that's exactly where they said they were going to put it. Just really block up that scoring area for Ross Whyte. Is there some sort of treble takeout? Goodness, welcome to the quarter-final. If Ross Whyte's having to lift a double, then a treble takeout with his first 2 stones.
Don't think we can hold and try and...
Here, high.
Yeah.
Nose is just about good enough. Pretty much nose.
Mi pare perché attivata bene, perché il mio dica è già lì. Quanta l'auto di spark le finì?
So he needs to get rid of something. Ross Whyte winds up his throwing arm for a big last stone in this first end. Ewan Kyle putting his back into it. But just lifting one, and gosh, what a start for the Italians. They have leapt out the blocks with a steal of 2. Really well played first end by them. Just a couple of half shots from Scotland. And what a start for the Italians. For the second time today, Italy are, after the first end, 2-0 ahead. Ross Whyte from Scotland. So let's say hello to the teams, both two very familiar lineups with one distinction. On the left of your screen, it is the Italian team of Joel Retornaz. Fourth and skip is Joel Retornaz. Third, Amos Mazaner. Second, Sebastiano Arman. Lead is Mattia Giovanella. On the right of your screen, fourth thrower this weekend, Ross Whyte. Third and skip this weekend is Robin Bryden. Second is not Duncan McFadden, who's not available this weekend, so instead of him is Craig Waddell. And usual lead thrower is on the ice, and that is Ewan Kyle. So don't get confused, viewer. Craig Waddell is subbing in for Duncan McFadden this weekend. And yes, you're right, Craig's normal team with his brother Kyle Waddell. Also here at the competition, as I said, Kyle's team just desperately close to qualifying. The Sediview Stalkers team this evening, who went all the way to the wire. So we're missing out on that brother versus brother potential clash. But we do have a brother versus brother clash on sheet 3. Yannick Schwaller's team playing Eve Stalker's team, and of course Kim Schwaller, Yannick's younger brother, throws third in Eve's team.
Wade's good.
Line's close.
Yep.
Line's good. Push for Wade.
Wade's good.
Hold
Wade's
Carl.
good.
Carl.
So everyone's in end 2. How did we all start? Over on sheet 1, it is Marco Hoesli's team, who have just quietly been beating everybody, and they have picked up a nice big score of 2 against Mark Muskatewicz's German European champions. Schwaller of the Yannick variety on sheet 3, also picking up a score of 2 against Steve Stalker. And over on sheet 4, Bruce Mouat's team of Scotland picking up 1 against Xiaoming Zhu's team from China. So as we'd expect, all 4 games I think will be pretty close. Well, they should be.
15-9.
So you can see Robin Bryden skipping this weekend.
A little bit more room.
That's because Robin is
Top 4,
recovering
top 8.
from some shoulder issues. So not best for him to be sweeping all weekend. So they've maintained their throwing order. Robin's still throwing third, Ross throwing fourth, but it is Robin who's skipping. Competent skip himself, Robin.
15.
And I asked Craig Waddell what it's like having Ross Whyte as a sweeping partner. I said, is he any good? And Craig diplomatically said he's pretty good for a skip. So make of that what you will.
Lead. Tina.
Nice shots.
We play 8 ends also here in the quarterfinals. If scores are tied, we'll play an extra end.
Chi era, ma? Bel tiro. 11-9-3.
Hey, the freeze or the head and roll?
Pretty content playing the head and roll. Head and roll probably.
And Italy setting up nicely again. Without last stone again in this second end. And again.
I think we need to hit it a bit thick to get on top.
Really working hard to not let Ross Whyte's team settle, not let them build an end. They have that centre guard out front. covering the centre of the forefoot. But is there a little chance here for, that's Craig Waddell in the hack, subbing in for Duncan McFadden this weekend.
10-7. 11. Carl.
But that stone staying really straight.
What was it? 11.
I don't want to blame Ross's sweeping for that. Craig himself said he's not bad for a skip, so I think that stone just didn't want to curl.
Go. Clean. Go. Go. Giù che arriva. Prendi poi gol, prendi poi gol.
And that is a fine throw from Ramma. That's Sebastiano Arman's nickname. And the team told me that's because people from Sebastiano's region in Italy don't pronounce their R's properly.
You make the roll, but just stop
they
it
tease
here.
him by calling him Ramma. You may hear
Well,
that
other shots you try and
name
get those.
being called.
We're not desperate yet. It's either run or you're making that roll. Yep.
The winner of this game,
Just a little this
they
side.
will play the winner of the game
Yeah, if we
on
can try and
sheet
miss.
1.
Roll away from the top one.
So Hoesli against Muskatewitz. So winner of rink 1 will play winner on rink 2. Winner on sheet 3 will play winner of sheet 4. That's in the quarter-finals tomorrow. Sorry, that will be the semi-finals tomorrow. But we've got 4 real cracking games to watch and enjoy first.
The centre lines are just really sensitive.
That man in the hack that's just thrown, Amos Mazaner.
Feel like you get punished.
He's going to
for
have a
hair
real busy
soft now.
Olympics representing in the men's team, and of course the defending champions with his teammate Stefania. The two of them, they will be defending their Olympic championship. They will go in as world champions
Same shot.
for mixed doubles. Stefania Constantini will also be with her ladies team at the Olympics. Same drill. They qualify as hosts, but Stefania's team also really riding high in the world rankings as well. And Stefania's team qualifying as of right as well.
Yep.
So
Oh.
Alice and Stefania will be particularly busy
Hard.
at Olympics, and I'm
Hard.
sure all
Hard. Hard.
three
Hard.
Italian teams, curling teams, will be very, very popular in Italy for the
Good.
duration of
It's the line. The
Olympics.
line is
Yeah.
jumping like I said earlier. What happened to mine going down there as well? It just doesn't get curls.
Looking a lot like the first end at the moment. We have those 2 Italian stones playing red. We have those 2 in the forefoot, and we have a couple of Scottish corner guards. Scotland playing yellow, but Scotland not being allowed to settle, not getting a chance to use those corner guards.
Hard! Hard, Rama! Hard! Hard! Okay, bravo.
Well, that's found a nice spot. I think if you were going to design a curler with AI or something like that, I think you'd probably end up with something a lot like Amos Mazaner. Huge levers, you can throw huge weights. He and Sebastiano Arman, they get Italy out of all kinds of trouble, just clearing up stone after stone, but
12.5.
also
Yep.
with Stefania, the Olympic champion at mixed doubles, and that requiring really delicate shots, finely weighted. So he's really got all the tricks in his armour, the big guy there.
Clean. Yep. Clean.
And he and Sebastiano, of course,
Clean.
gigantic as well. So
Yep.
big long levers for sweeping.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Yes.
It's looking finally a bit more positive for Scotland. But if you want to know how much the Italian team can bench press, look on Instagram. We've been asking the team some fun little questions. Those reels are uploaded to the Instagram channel. That's BADEN Masters on Instagram. All one word, all lowercase, BADEN Masters. And you will be able to find out how much can the Italian boys bench press, as well as various other things. You can find out a couple of useless superpowers in Ross Whyte's team. We've been asking a couple of teams what's their song at karaoke. So if there's a lull in the game here, take a look at the Instagram channel. First throw of the second end for Italian skip Joel Retornaz. Joel was the skip of the Italian team the last time the Olympics was in town in Italy, in Torino, in 2006, I guess. That will be 20 years ago. That was baby Joel. And what a fine servant of Italian sport that man is. He will be representing once more at his country's home Olympics next year. And that guard's found a lovely spot there.
9, and even if we could try and kind of do this.
What's objective for the second end? For Scotland, similar to the first. They really want to try to build something. They want to score more than 1 point with their one last stone. And Italy's objective has changed ever so slightly, become even slightly easier, because 1 yellow, 1 point to Scotland, that's fine for Italy. That would make the overall score 2-1, and Italy would have last stone for the first time in the game. So Italy's objective, slight change, even better.
Think you can? I don't see it going that way.
I think it's really close, but you could be right. Yeah, great. You can spin through off the back of that.
I just see it going that way.
And again, I think like in the first end, Ross Whyte, he's really got no choice. He has to clear himself some space. Otherwise, he's going to find a great wall of Italia facing him with his final throw. If you want to show support for any of the teams in the quarterfinals, let us know.
The only issue is if we can't
So
get
we've
touch
got
sick, where's the red?
lots of friends in the chat already. Greetings to Teresa in Montana.
I like 9.
Sort of lunchtime, I guess, over in Montana.
Really thin to get this coming down the way.
9.
Sue, of course, there. Megan.
7 stone, maybe just a hair more.
Tom's rail announcements. Tom, always a frequent flyer here in the virtual club. He's a big Ross Whyte fan. I think all of us really looking forward to finally seeing Ross Whyte's team representing at Worlds next year. It will be Mouat's team who represent at Olympics, and back-to-back Scottish champions Ross Whyte, they will represent at Worlds.
I agree.
They were all ready to go to Worlds. They were qualified and ready to go in 2020. And then, of course, COVID came and we didn't have a World Championship, and I felt so bad for them. That's 5 years ago now, and that is a long time to wait for your moment in the sun. Well, they won their first Grand Slam last year. They will be at Worlds next year. As he got it. Mattia Giovanella ready to sweep that yellow back, and that certainly cleared out the forefoot. And it is that yellow in the back 8 foot ring, the white one. That is currently line shot. So yeah, just see how this changes the landscape a bit. There's Ross's yellow shot, onto red, onto yellow, onto red. So clearing out the 4 foot, getting rid of one of the reds,
Linea si sconderia per
and
me,
leaving
io per
himself lying shot. Not a bad result.
Potresti anche a giocare questo se ne piace.
Jacob says hello from Portland, Oregon in the US. Hello to you, Jacob. This year we didn't have any teams from North America over in Baden. We have had in the past. But this year, the longest journey to get here was Team Zhu from China. Psychology fan in the chat says, let's go Italia. So I think pretty even out there. I think both of these teams very popular for good reason.
Linea buona.
And a real tasty game for the neutral as well.
Linea buona, Putel, linea buona.
So Joe just wants to outcount that yellow. As we said, Italian objective hasn't really changed. They want to try to make sure that Scotland cannot score 2. And has that found a safe spot? So can Ross Whyte get to that red just thrown by Joel? Right on the sponsor's logo there at the back of the 4 foot.
See it doing slightly more than the other
Not
one,
easy.
but not much.
I'm not sure he can just follow that stone with enough weight to push it anywhere. So I think he can definitely just follow the stone, but he would just end up scoring 1, and that's not what he wants.
2/3, I think close.
And oh boy, that escalated quickly. Ross Whyte is already trying a huge angled raise here. The stone right next to the brush of Robin Bryden. Ross Whyte aiming to angle that straight in at the 4 foot. Huge shot for 2.
Oh, Carl. Carl.
Robin calling to Curl. Oh dear. He didn't catch the angle on that at all. But gosh, what pressure the Italians are currently putting on Ross Whyte in that last throw. He seems to stand up to pressure pretty well, Ross, but nevertheless, he's had what, a double takeout on the guards, an attempted treble on the shot there. He had a triple raise to get himself into shot position, and now he had to try an angled raise. So, goodness me, Ross Whyte's evening is just a sea of complications. But that was a steal of 1 to the Italians. And that means the overall score in our featured quarter-final, it is Retornaz 3, Ross Whyte of Scotland 0. Now, that's how we finished. Top 8 qualify. We had 20 teams total. And the top 8 qualify for quarter-finals. Top of the pile is Yannick Schwaller, the Swiss champions. They will represent at Olympics. Bruce Mouat's team from Scotland. Also 4 out of 4 games won in the round robin. They will represent Great Britain at Olympics. Marco Hoesli's team, the current vice champions from Switzerland. As I said, just quietly getting better and better, just quietly becoming very, very difficult to beat. Team Hoesli finished 3rd. Joe Retornaz had to beat Ross Whyte to get into this top 8, and he did. Ross Whyte was already 3 for 3 from his first 3 games, and that was enough to qualify them. Mark Muskatewitz went to almost the last stone in their round robin. Xiaoming Zhu's team from China, very steady performance from our Asia Pacific team. And they were 3 out of 4 by the time they finished. And as I said, Yves Stocker's team, the big guy, had a nervy sort of afternoon. He had to wait all the way until the very last stone of the very last game. but they did qualify after all. And as you see, this is one of those years where 3 games, there was a chance that wasn't enough to qualify. That's what Yves was keeping an eye on. But yeah, you needed at least 3 games here. 3 wins out of 4. All the teams on 2, not even the ones with the draw shot, superior draw shot. You can see how good team in 9th place there, Michael Brunner's team, their cumulative draw shot, 9 centimetres over a whole weekend. So they were pretty disappointed to lose out to Mark Muskatewitz. And even that superb draw shot challenge wasn't enough to qualify them this time. So 3 wins was the limit this time. And out on ice now, we have 1 plays 8. That is on sheet 3. That's Yannick Schwaller playing Yves Stocker, including his younger brother Kim. 2 plays 7. That is Bruce Mouat playing Xiaoming Zhu of China. They're on sheet 4. The winner of those 2 games will meet each other in the semi-final. 3rd place, Marco Hoesli playing 6th place, Mark Muskatewitz on sheet 1, and they will play the winner of our featured game, 4th and 5th place.
This is why we can't just keep doing the same thing.
4th and 5th place on sheet 2 just now.
Yeah.
Jacob notices that Olympic champion, 7-time world champion, half a dozen at least, I think, time European champion Niklas Edin, he did go 2 and 2, yes. That is how tough it is, yeah. No Edin here in the quarter-final, no Michael Brunner in the quarter-final, no Kyle Waddell in these quarter-finals. It was so tough out there this year. And it's really become almost a different game now, this highest level of competition. Go ahead and set up some of these ends at your club and see how well you get on. And we've been discussing that a little bit, that there's some tactics that we can really learn from these top teams and use ourselves. And my favourite one of those is if you're just moving 1 stone, just a normal hit and roll on 1 stone. These big teams now, typically you just see them with just about hack weight or a little more to really give a chance to control the curl, control the sweeping. You don't see a great big weight for a single stone hit and roll. And that's a tactic that you should take home and use at the club. But the tactic that I really caution about is, particularly in this 5-rock free guard zone world, is being over-aggressive with your guards. These teams can do that because, number 1, they tend to have 2 gigantic big boys throwing 2 and 3 who can clear them all out. And number 2, if it's an emergency, you have, say, Ross Whyte or Joe Retornaz to draw to the pin to get you out of trouble. And at the club, you typically don't have 2 ginormous boys at 2 and 3 to clear out some guards for you, and you certainly don't have Ross Whyte or Joe Retornaz to draw the pin. So be cautious at the club with overusing guards. Oh, Tom, I'm glad that you enjoyed seeing our little chat with Ross Whyte's team with their useless superpowers.
Hit. Oh. Hit. Hit. Oh. Clean. Hit. Hide. Oh. No.
And that's exactly the right idea from Italy. They are +3. And they do not want any yellows hanging around that could score. So not exactly hitting for home yet, but just keeping things clean. And Ross Whyte's team, they're going to have to summon all their double Scottish Championship powers to just steady the ship here. Hello, Lynn in St John's. I think NL's Newfoundland, isn't it? We really appreciate all our North American fans. Very dedicated, tuning in always here in Baden. And I think it may be a little bit early and or late for our Asia Pacific fans. I think it's really the middle of the night for them. They may have to catch up sometime tomorrow.
Just think you keep it higher.
And speaking of, the only team representing Asia Pacific in the competition this year is Team Xiaomingzhu from China, and they got a 2 off Bruce Mouat. That's never easy. So in their third end, it is Xiaomingzhu's team from China 2, Bruce Mouat of Scotland 1. Jacob wonders why Scotland doesn't have an Olympic trials, feeling that Ross Whyte's team are as worthy of a chance as Bruce Mouat's team. I think there are plenty of people who would agree with you, Jacob. Yeah, as I said, my heart breaks for Ross Whyte's team that they had to wait so long to have their moment to shine. And yeah, you know, back-to-back Scottish champion, not enough to get the nod for the Olympics. I think, yeah, there are certainly people who, if not fully agree with you, and I would count myself among them, I'm very sympathetic to the idea that could there be an Olympic trial, but always a little bit of an art than a science, Scottish selection process. My accent is Scottish, you're right, but I have nothing to do with Scottish curling since a very long time. So I'm not really sure how they make their decisions, but the decision is that it will be the silver medalists from last Olympics, Bruce Mouat's team. They will represent all of Great Britain. And Ross Whyte's team will finally have their chance to shine at the World Championships. So a quiet wait, precise shot from Amos Mazaner with all that mixed doubles expertise coming to fruition. And same drill in this third end actually for Italy. It is still Scotland with last stone, and it is still Italy just playing everything towards that centre line, not letting Scotland get to grips with this game at all.
You can kill it, finish past that in 13.
Now we're all in our third end. Let's check on the scores. On sheet 1, it is Marco Hoesli's team. They are playing Mark Muskatewitz. The Germans picked up 1 in the second end, but it is Hoesli's team leading 2-1 in the third. Happy news for the Stalker Army. In the Battle of the Brothers on sheet 3, Yannick Schwaller's team picked up 2 in the first end, but Yves' team, with younger brother Kim Schwaller, picking up 2 in the second, so their score is tied 2 each.
11-8.
And that's better from Scotland. And again, this is the kind of situation to set up at your club. Like you and I, there's no way we could get that yellow out without just punching it straight back onto that red. But Mozana, the Olympic mixed doubles champion, very used to these kind of really delicate shots. Just needs to get to the inside of that yellow. They're just such a well-oiled machine, this Italian team, aren't they? And then again, so is Ross Whyte's team. Very aware that Ross Whyte's team has a bad game. They're always painful to try to get a win off Ross Whyte's team. Well, the Italians not intimidated at all. And exactly as we said, Amos Mazaner does find the inside of the yellow stone and punching it just far enough to cancel it out. And golly, not for the first time in this game, or even the second or third time.
I might be able to get something.
Ross Whyte is looking at 3 opposition stones.
Looks like a thin half. Yep. Well. Carol.
So Robin Bryden just lifting one. Robin skipping this weekend. He's coming back from a shoulder injury. So all that powerful sweeping, not yet. So he's skipping at the moment, but they maintain their regular throwing order. Robin throwing 3 and Ross throwing 4. So I don't really think that's affected them. I think it's just the Italians are just playing their socks off at the moment.
Absolutely scrape the guard to make that. Sorry?
It's really Scotland being asked to do all the difficult shots at the moment. Italy will be delighted with this start. Just keeping things simple, attacking the centre line. And they are getting mistakes from Ross Whyte's team from Scotland. This a replay of their final round robin game earlier on today. And this can happen at this competition. The team's ranked 1 to 8 at the end, and you can end up facing a team that you've already played. Same thing on sheet 4, Bruce Mouat and Xiaoming Zhu from China. They played first of all on Friday evening. It was Mouat who won that encounter. They're having a rematch over there on sheet 4.
15.
And equally, I really doubt that this morning's game is in their heads. The Scottish team, you know, they're not back-to-back champions for nothing. They are really cool under pressure. I think this is really just credit to Italy for just leaping out of the blocks and hardly placing a stone wrong.
I got just there.
So after throwing double takeout, triple takeout, triple raise and angled raise, Ross Whyte is finally throwing a fairly straightforward shot here. Just wants to snuggle into those reds, try and put a yellow safely in there, and I think that yellow's found a nice spot. Difficult to remove that yellow without it squirting onto the red. Or if you sacrifice the red behind tee, could there be a double? I don't think so. But Mattia looking at coming on the anti-clockwise handle. What if you just catch the edge of the red, just touching that yellow, pop the yellow sideways? Or what if you just drop a guard where Joel's indicating, just block that path completely? If you're Scotland, how are you getting 1 point at that point? Never mind trying to score 2. And I think that's the wise decision there, is indeed, let's just throw a guard, block that path.
Altezza, secondo me 2. No, l'unica roba è il che tira in dritto. Sì, è chiaro.
15 was going to be a sweep to get there, but we thought we'd get there for fun and didn't get there.
Italy just discussing the options, but I like this call. I think, yeah, just put the guard right in the middle of that path and make sure that Ross Whyte can't use the yellow that he just threw. I think the yellow found a good spot from Ross's perspective. And this looks very nice on its own. Yep, nice weight, nice line. And one more thing, we don't want to sweep. And for the third time in 3 ends, poor old Scotland having a committee meeting about what on earth can we do. But still Italy lying 1. that red that's been sat there since Mattia Giovanella put it there 14 or 15 stones ago, still there.
If I touch this red first, it might be really good. At like
If I say it's not often I feel sorry for Ross Whyte, all I mean is it's not often that I need to feel sorry for Ross Whyte. They tend to
try to get the momentum almost
just be like a Rolls Royce
touching this one first,
rolling through a competition, just quietly demolishing everything.
8.
We're going to lose a little bit. No, ti prendi una tua per usare il fil, ma forse sì, il fil di all'Inter dal gol. We'll probably hear less than rollati mai. Not really doing too much. No, io avrei chiamato l'auto.
So decision's been made. Is it another angled raise? I think it is.
Not far away. 8. Okay, okay.
Oh, Robin realising that angle not quite there. It's hard to overstate the level of difficulty of the shots that Ross Whyte is having to go for here. The poor man is just looking at a circus shot almost every end, and that is credit to the team on the right hand side of your screen there, who are 4-0 ahead now, but that can go quickly. Ross Whyte's team, they are double Scottish champions. 4 points is a very nice cushion for Italy, but they are not going to take their foot off the gas. They are a long way from home yet. We need to see Scotland steady the ship a bit here in this fourth end. It will be Italy setting us off, starting us off in the fourth end. It is Joe Retornaz of Italy 4, Ross Whyte of Scotland 0.
Buona. Puoi aspettare linea. Aspetta per linea. C'è larghi. C'è comunque larghi.
Big update on sheet 1. It's Marco Hoesli's team also just quietly demolishing everyone. They scored a big 3 in their third end. They are now 5-1 ahead of the European champions from Germany. Everything coming up Hoesli this weekend. In the Battle of the Brothers, on sheet 3, it is Schwaller of the Yannick variety, who has scored 2 in the third end.
Wait for the third dot.
2 Zaras, and it is Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions leading younger brother Kim with Yves Stocker's rink 4 points to 2. On sheet 4, something happened in the third end, but nobody feels like sharing. So they are in their fourth end, but I'm not quite sure what the score is.
Linea buona. Linea buona. Sempre per linea. 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 Continua, continua. Bravi, può stare bene.
That's just such good placement from Mattia Giovanella again. He's really making the rest of his team's life so much nicer with this wonderful stone placement. And that's not to take away anything from you and Kyle in your picture. He's also having a perfectly decent game, but that's the job of lead, is to set up the end. So the two leads are almost ignoring each other. We see Mattia Giovanella playing towards the centre, You and Kyle playing away from the centre, and both of them have done an excellent job setting up the end for the rest of their team, and then it's up to the rest of your team to do something with those stones. And it's the Italians who are finding that better at the moment. So Ramma in the hack. Same drill as the first 3 ends. Attack that centre line.
Continua Mattia, giù. Giù che larga. Continua. Solo giù, continua Mattia, dai. Hard Mattia, go, go, go. Giù Mattia, giù, giù, ancora un po' ragazzi. Bravo.
You can see how powerful the sweeping is from the Italians. All these big boys will have been working in the gym over summer. They can't wait to show everyone their muscles. And if you want to know how much the Italians bench press, it's a lot. You can find out on Instagram. We've been asking the team some fun facts kind of questions. And you can keep up with some fun stuff from the competition on Instagram at BADEN Masters. All one word, all lowercase, BADEN Masters. You can find out Ross Whyte's team superpowers, useless superpowers, and that is a magnificent shot from Craig Waddell. That surely cheered everybody up. Spraying all 3 Italian stones, and that's what they've been looking for. Yeah, let's see that again. 1, 2, 3. Superb shot from Craig Waddell. Subbing for Duncan McFadden and Ross's team this weekend. And they will be very grateful to have him with that kind of firepower. So Italy doing the professional thing. Just clearing up guards. No guards out front equals nowhere for Scotland to hide. The Italians are 4-0 ahead. They do not need to take any risks at all. They are wise to play conservatively, so yes, let's indeed just start clearing out the front. Don't leave Scotland guards to hang around, to come around the back of. So after that huge shot from Craig Waddell, subbing for Duncan McFadden this weekend. Huge shot from him with his first throw, and now a nice delicate draw in behind that corner guard. And is that the little change of energy that Scotland need now to get back into this game? That is wonderful play from Craig Waddell. Really good stuff from him.
Questa è la far score in terzo, metà scarsa in terzo. Oh! Okay, you're gonna win.
So Joe just waiting next to his own red stone there, hoping that Amos's throw would just catch the red on the way out. It doesn't, but steadily getting rid of all those guards. There is one remaining guard, which we see Ross Whyte now going to put into use. Robin Bryden being asked to draw in behind that. And he's done that beautifully, Robin. This is better from Scotland. They need to weather the storm from this all-conquering Italian team and just keep steady. Don't let their heads go down. Just stick to the task. There's plenty of ends left. And another huge throw from the big guy, Amos Mazzana. He's so tall, Amos, that by the time he's kicked off from the hack, he's pretty much over the hog line. We will see Joe Retornaz's team again in a couple of weeks. I will be helping out also at the Trentino Curling World Cup in Cembra. And just a small club, but 10 big teams coming there. That's in a couple of weeks' time, the last weekend in August. And I will be covering some of the games there as well. So join us there too. So Scotland finally looking a little better in this fourth end, but lacking cover out front. But those two yellows are not quite level, but almost a very flat double, very difficult. And this is what Scotland needs to settle into this game a bit. So I'm still not sure what's going on in rink 4, gang. They're on their fifth end, but nobody's managed to put the score up yet. Is world champion Bruce going to give it a go? I realise he's not world champion of scoreboard, but looks like he was certainly having a look. Oh, there he goes. Aha, so over on sheet 4 then, it was a blank in the third end and a big score of 3 to Mouat's team in the fourth end. So at the halfway point, over on sheet 4, it is Bruce Mouat 4, Xiaoming Zhu of China 2.
Se fa un po' di floating anche, voleva dritte. Metà.
First throw of the fourth end for Italian skip Joe Retornaz. Joel was quite a big celebrity in Italy last time the Olympics were in town, and I'm sure he and the team will be again. He would love to get 2 yellows moving with this. He does, but only one disappears. That's good news for Scotland. As I said, a 4-0 cushion. That's a nice place to be, but that can go quickly. And really, Craig Waddell, well, actually, it's not fair. Ewan Kyle playing his 2 stones perfectly. Craig Waddell throwing 2 pistols to set up Scotland really nicely in this fourth end. And what a difference that's made. Robin Bryden and Ross Whyte finally having a slightly more straightforward shot than some kind of triple raise. We will play 8 ends here. If scores are tied, we will play an extra. The winner will play in the semi-final tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock European time. The winner on sheet 1 will play the winner on sheet 2. Winner on sheet 3 will play the winner on sheet 4.
Line's good. Line's good.
So finally, a fairly straightforward shot for Scottish fourth thrower Ross Whyte. Just wants to land it pretty much where Robin's brush is. Ewan and Craig again putting all their effort into it, and oh, that's a great sweep from the boys there. That had to be up that shot, and yes, just found its way into the rings.
Penso sia la più facile qua ancora quella lì.
So for the first time, really, in this game, Italy having to have a little think about things. Giving up 1 is fine for them. Giving up 2 is okay, but giving up 3, all of a sudden, that really changes the complexion of the game. But this is a really well worked end from Scotland. They've really settled the ship in this end. Last throw of the first half of our featured quarter-final at BADEN Masters. It is Joe Retornaz of Italy. Yeah, he wasn't particularly close to the double there. And all of a sudden, Scotland finally finding their angles, clearing out some space, and Ross Whyte just had to find the paint. So good for you, Scotland, really weathering that storm for the first half of this game. These two met earlier on today, not even in this competition. Ross Whyte's team were already on 3 wins out of 3. Joe Retornaz was only on 2 wins, so Joel had to beat Ross Whyte this morning, and he did. I don't think that will be influencing Ross Whyte's team just now.
Mine's good. Curling now.
They are much too professional to let that kind of thing get in their head.
Should have the back.
And this is a nice practice throw also for Ross Whyte. Just know that he's got T-weight in his pocket, and look at that, he really does. All he had to do was find the paint, but he finds the pin right in the middle as well. So what a difference that's made. That will be a huge score of 3 to Ross Whyte's team, and at the halfway point in our featured game at BADEN Masters 2025, 25th birthday edition. It is Joe Retornaz of Italy 4, Ross Whyte of Scotland 3. Everyone else has also turned the halfway. Team Hoesli from Switzerland over on sheet 1. Just building the pressure, turning the screws. They are 6-1 ahead of the German European champions, Muskatewitz. I wonder if it took everything they had, the German team, to get past Michael Brunner's team this afternoon. That was such an intense game. But yeah, Marco can only play what's in front of him, and it is the Swiss team who are just looking awfully tidy over there on sheet 1. On sheet 3, we have Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions playing Yves Stocker's team, featuring younger brother Kim Schwaller. And in the battle of the brothers, they keep exchanging 2s. That was 2 for Yves's team in the 4th end. They are 4 each at the halfway. And world champion Bruce Mouat finally figuring out the scoreboard for us. Over on sheet 4, it is Mouat 4, Xiaoming Zhu of China 2. Megan saying she thinks that Ross's team will hold their own at the Worlds. I fully agree with you, yeah. I would not be at all surprised to see them in the late stages of the World Championship. they know how to beat Bruce Mouat's team, and Mouat are the world champions.
Linea perfetta.
So if you love curling, you are really looking forward to seeing Ross Whyte's team perform finally at the Worlds.
It's quite high. Like you're only just biting the 8 foot if you're on top.
So for the first time in the game, it is the Italians who have last stone advantage.
Or potentially just this.
And this will be interesting. Italy are +1. So hardly anything of a cushion really. Certainly not a safe cushion. But they also don't need to take too many risks, and that's probably why you saw Joe Retornaz call for a shot straight to the middle there. He doesn't really need a corner guard at this stage. That's probably over-aggressive for this stage in the game. Ewan Kyle, the left-hander, coming out at ever such a slightly different angle, the left-handers.
Good to go. Line's good. Line's good. Clean, yep. 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 Line. Line.
This is nice from Ewan Kyle. As the sweepers got it round, yes they have.
14-4.
Here, take note of that, curling historians. A fine sweep by Ross Whyte. Normally skip, of course. And he and Craig Waddell working together to really bury that yellow stone. Lovely throw from Ewan Kyle. Ewan and Robin in the team. Newly fathers for the first time, both of them welcoming a little baby to the family just in the past few months.
Bomba. Oh, oh, oh.
And actually they say, yeah, there's kind of no trouble travelling with the team, because in some way it's a bit of a rest. They don't have to get up in the middle of the night for the baby. They can finally have a bit of a sleep. So I don't think that's affecting them. They've got good energy this weekend. Both of them saying really enjoying
Back 4, back 8.
being fathers now. And if you follow Ross Whyte's Instagram or Team Whyte's Instagram, and I recommend you do, you can look up Team Whyte, you will find them, and you will know that Ross also has a little baby cat, a little fluffy baby, and his fiancée is looking after her, because these are the important questions. As we know, cats are the patron saint of the internet, and everything internet and Instagram is about cat videos. So Ross's little baby cat Doja also being looked after at home. That's a pity for Craig Waddell. He really set up that big 3 in the 4th end. And he'll be annoyed with that.
Non è male. Ok, mi piace questa in effetti.
He's not quite finding the curl and not touching the stone on the way past. That's a pity for him. Sebastiano Arman with a lovely open house to draw to. It's Italian last stone for the first time in the game. And just using that yellow at the back to hit and stick. 1, 2, 3 reds in the house with good separation.
Same shot. Oh, the other one is this. Can I see in this? You like counting this one at least?
Yeah, Robin could play on that Scottish guard, but A, it's quite a long way from the house, and B, that doesn't really help him. It's Italy who have last stone, so Scotland quite happy to keep play towards the centre. So I think this is a nice call. Waddell then again, just that quieter weight. This will be about just about hack weight. Actually looks like he's trying the same kind of shot as last time. I think he's pretty good this time. He's round that guard and just punching that red. That's a fine throw from Craig.
Torla, penso.
The Italian stones getting a little bit
E
behind T now.
sempre questa dopo.
Joel indicating that a very makeable double on those
Singola.
two reds. That's the view from the hack on the left of our screen, and he's absolutely right. That red double take out very makeable. Now, in contrast to Scotland, that yellow guard out front not helping Italy at all. I think this is a good call.
Clean. Clean, clean, vamos, clean.
So another huge throw. Sebastiano Arman also made entirely of arms and legs. Big long levers. Quiet weight coming from Robin. That double takeout on the reds, not so attractive anymore without a guard in front to hide behind. So I think Ross just wanting to replace that centre guard actually. Just patiently trying to get a mistake from Italy, or a half shot from Italy. And then they'll be able to go for that double takeout on the reds and sit in behind cover. Yeah, Joe's still very cautious of giving them the chance to do that. I think if you didn't want the centre guard there last time, I would just get rid of it again. Nothing much has changed. And this time it's Amos Mazzana, who's even bigger than Sebastiano Arman. Full beans from the big guy.
Close.
Dare not extend his arm on a takeout. Oh dear. That is maybe the oopsie that Scotland needed. That's unlucky. That's exactly what was happening to Scotland the first couple of ends, and now finally some bad luck. Finding a bad angle for Italy. You can see that yellow now in the 8 foot, just on the tee line. That just squirting back at exactly the right angle to jam onto an Italian stone, and all of a sudden Ross Whyte can finally start to put pressure on this Italian team.
I think the hit and roll of the guards are too cold. Like it, Rob? I think you're very good for a force if we make this.
12.5.
Are we trying to freeze on this one? Ross, are we trying to roll frozen?
So decision's been made. They can see what exactly half of that red stone. A very makeable shot for this level.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Has that caught the curl though? I don't think that's what he wanted. No, not at that weight. No, a split wasn't a daft idea, but no, they'd rather keep everything towards the centre. And that just over curling a bit. I can only apologise, Robin Bryden, after me saying that was a very makeable shot. So a couple of bad angles swapped there. A bad angle from Italy, then a bad angle from Scotland. Lucky you, Italy. They really could have paid a price for that one, but they got away with it. But Amos Mazzana either not fully happy or not fully clear what's the objective here. For the first time in the game, it's Italy playing red who have last stone in this fifth end.
Lì mi piace anche giocare per la doppia proprio,
Over on sheet 4, they've mastered scoreboarding on their fifth end. That was a steal of one to Mouat's team. They lead Team Zhu of China 5 points to 2. They are in their sixth.
Non volevo proprio provarla sta doppia qui.
Giù clean. Va bene.
So a bit of a discussion in the Italian team about this shot.
Gina. Giù. Giù che
Tend to
buona.
get bogged down in jibber jabber, the
Whoa!
Italians.
Whoa!
Yeah, you don't want to catch too little of this stone. Yeah, you could have left that one, boys. Left it to catch a little more. Well, that's not a bad result. There are still two reds hanging around, although that yellow that kind of popped into the 8 foot by mistake, that is second shot at the moment. We have 4 stones to come in the fifth end of our featured quarter final here at the BADEN Masters 2025. Gang, we have our first semi-finalist. Marco Hoesli's team from Switzerland over on sheet 1. They have just been getting better and better. They are the current vice Swiss champions, and they have just chased Muskatewitz's German team, the reigning European champions. They have just chased them off the ice in 5 ends, 8 points to 1. An excellent day at the office for Marco Hoesli's side. They can have a nice early night while everyone else is battling it out. Our first quarter finalist then into the our first quarter finalist who has made to the semi-finals. It is Marco Hoesli's team from Switzerland, and they are awaiting the winner in our featured game on sheet 2. Congratulations to them.
I think you can make it low enough, Ross, like to be and kill this. I think so. I think you probably try for like 12 and a half, probably. Low 12.
So a dominant performance from Marco Hoesli's team over on sheet 1, defeating the European champions, Muskatewitz, 8 points to 1. I wonder if that game this afternoon, Muskatewitz, they were the only team who played the final draw at 3 o'clock and then again now. And yeah, it was a real bruising encounter they had with Michael Brunner's team. Local heroes from BADEN Club. And I wonder if that really just took it out of them. Either way, it is a dominant performance from Marco Hoesli's side. They are our first team into the semi-final. And see if you can guess the score on sheet 3. I can see both Schwaller brothers standing in the head here. Yannick Schwaller's team, the Swiss champions, and Kim Schwaller, the vice skip in Yves Stocker's team. And you'll never guess, gang, it was a 2. So 2s being exchanged
12-8.
with every last stone in the game on sheet 3, and it is now 6-4 to big brother Yannick.
Perché lo so qua al far si deve giocare sto roll qua. Sì, d'accordo. Sì. 9 secondi, non pure in perderla, l'importante è restare, lo gada comunque giocare a doppia.
We have 3 stones to come
9,
in
secondo me
the
nel
fifth end of our featured
9.
quarter final.
10 mi piace.
It's a repeat of their final round robin encounter. Joe Retornaz's Italian team playing Ross Whyte's team of Scotland. For the first time in the game, it is Italy with last stone.
And blank non è scontato.
And a few stones in play, but no guards out front. But you still need to be careful with your stone placement. You want to make it as difficult as possible for the opposition to remove multiple stones. So Joe Retornaz's first throw in this fifth end.
Sì. Sì. Sì!
Ooh, that one's really catching the curl. Is that a first mistake from the Italian skipper? Kind of. It does make contact with the yellow, but not in a particularly helpful way. And that stone just over curling a bit.
La gira un po'.
Ross Whyte's shot at last. Very simple. He just wants to remove that red. Then Scotland will be lying at least 2, maybe 3. No chance for Italy to make 2 points after that misangled shot from Joel's first effort. He'll be annoyed with that. And that's found a nicer line. Nice controlled throw from Scotland. And Joel will be drawing against 3 yellow counters. He does have plenty of space, but that's good pressure from Scotland. Over on sheet 4, they are already into their 7th end. That was a blank in 6. The score over there remained Bruce Mouat's team of Scotland 5, Jiao Mingzhu of China 2. Oh gosh, Joel, what was that? What happened there? What a reversal in this game. I don't know if that maybe went over something. Because I can't believe Joel threw a stone that was just barely over the hog line. And that's horrible bad luck if that's what happened. I'm sure that stone must have been a pick-up, but nevertheless, that's what we said. Never nice to draw against 3 counters, 3 opposition stones, because it does put the pressure on, and if anything goes wrong, either by accident or with a loose throw, all of a sudden your opposition is scoring big there. So that has really changed the energy in our featured quarter final. I truly hope that doesn't decide the game, so to say. And for the first time, it's Italy on the back foot. They blasted out the first 3 ends of the game. Scotland weathered the storm, had a superb end in the 4th there, and just a little bit of bad luck, but a couple of loose shots from Italy finally in the 5th. But it was a huge steal of 3 to Scotland. And now we will see the Italians playing far more aggressively than they had to so far.
Linea buona. Linea buona così.
Tom appreciating the comeback by Scotland. No, in that I fully agree with you, Tom. Scotland really held their nerve in the teeth of that storm. A real whirlwind from Italy for the first 3 or 4 ends. And Scotland really held their nerve, stuck to their task, and they have been rewarded indeed with a big comeback in this game. We have 3 ends to play. We play 8 ends here in Baden. If scores are tied, we will play an extra end. But over on sheet 1, no need for 8 ends. Marco Hoesli's team having a really excellent weekend. They went through the round robin without a loss, and they just marched straight into the semi-final in 5 ends. They beat Muskatewitz's German team, the current European champions, 8 points to 1. As I said, Mark's team had a real testing encounter with Michael Brunner's team. Mark's team, the only team that played that 3 o'clock round, and also now played at 8:30. And I wonder if that really just took it out of them, that really intense encounter with Brunner's rink. Either way, Marco Hoesli's team won all 4 games on their way there, and they have continued in that form. They are our first semi-finalists, and they await the winners of our featured game here on sheet 2. So all of a sudden then, it's Italy who are on the back foot in the 6th end. They are the ones who will be facing 3 opposition stones on the centre line. Megan agrees, very patient play by Team Whyte, I agree with you. And really that's the mark of a champion. That game could easily have just slipped away from them. Italy were just on fire, not missing a thing With Scotland
Pull in.
taking a minute to just settle into this game. But that's the mark of a champion. They didn't panic and stuck to their task. Really turned things around in the fourth end, and I think aided by a little bit of bad luck, but all you can do is give yourself a chance. They were lying 3. That puts pressure.
Forte.
Scotland rewarded
Hard.
with a steal of 3 in that fifth end.
Oh, oh. Giù, giù. Giù, giù, giù. Giù, giù per tenere l'angolo. Ok, Rama. Bravo.
So whatever happened there, still within the 4 foot. There we go, or within a 4 foot diameter across the centre line. And that's a nice throw from Sebastiano Arman. Just getting that red into play. He doesn't really want to remove those 2 yellows at this point. He doesn't mind if those yellows are behind his red. It's kind of catchers. That makes it harder for Scotland to do something about it. You can see there's 2 kind of iPads at the edge of the scoreboard there. The lower one, that's how you enter the score. Take note, boys. It's really not that difficult. And the upper one, that is the overhead of the other end. So you will quite often see the boys just having a look, make sure they understand what's the situation up the other end. We're guaranteed then 2 Swiss teams in the semi-finals. Marco Hoesli's team already booked a place. First semi-finalists, defeating Muskatewitz's team from Germany. And over on sheet 3, we have Yannick Schwaller against Yves Stocker, an all-Swiss battle. So guaranteed to have at least 2 Swiss teams. Well, guaranteed to have 2 Swiss teams in the semi-finals, 1 each. Still an intriguing lineup, or an intriguing game going on sheet 4. It's 5-2 to Bruce Mouat of Scotland after 6 ends. But China not going down without a fight. They're currently lying 2. And it is China's last stone in the 7th end. That is another repeat of a round robin match. That can happen in this competition. The teams are ranked 1 to 8, the teams are ranked 1 to 20 at the conclusion of round robin, and then regardless of which group you started in, teams 1 to 8 play the quarterfinals. So we have 2 rematches, in fact, over on sheet 4. Bruce Mouat's team, they already played. Zhao Mingzhu's team from China, their very first round robin game, and also on our featured game here on sheet 2. These 2 teams played each other this morning.
Ok, 12 dovresti fargela.
And like we said, all of a sudden, it's the Italians that are on the back foot. It's the Scots just piling towards that centre line, and now it's the big, tall middle order of Italy. Sebastiano Arman and Amos Mazzana will be asked to just clear things up. Create a bit of space. And that's pretty nice from Sebastiano. He keeps that red out front. And the shooter rolls in behind the corner guard. That's a good tactic to learn to take away to your club as well. You don't need to be lying short after every single stone. Joel is thinking, okay, if we set up this stone here, let's keep a red and play out front there. You don't need to be short after every stone. Joel's thinking all the way through to the conclusion of the end, just trying to set up chances. Jenny in the chat saying, is Whyte not Team Scotland? So, as I said, the selection process for Scotland is somewhat opaque from my perspective. I am from Scotland, that's where my accent's from, but I've left Scotland a very long time ago. And yeah, their selection process a little bit opaque, but what has happened is Bruce Mouat's team will represent at Olympics, and actually they represent Great Britain, of course, because Olympics. And Ross Whyte's team, back-to-back Scottish champions, they will finally get their moment in the sun, and they will represent Scotland at World Championships. And I think everyone looking forward to seeing them there. They have been waiting since 2020 when they were ready to go, qualified to go. COVID happened and World Championship was cancelled.
Dovevi comunque giocare su questo adesso.
But finally, Ross Whyte's team will be representing Scotland on the world stage. And indeed, a slightly different constellation for Ross Whyte's team this weekend. Robin Bryden, who's a perfectly competent skip himself, he is in the head for this weekend. He's recovering from shoulder injury, so all that sweeping is not indicated at the moment. And that was a fine throw from Robin there, but that is an equally fine throw from Amos Mazana. So yes, it's Robin that's skipping Ross Whyte's team this weekend, but maintaining their regular throwing order. So it's still Ewan Kyle throwing lead. Craig Waddell is throwing second. He's subbing for Duncan McFadden this weekend. And yes, it is all very complicated. His normal team with his brother Kyle Waddell, they are a 5-man team. So Craig has been parachuted in to Ross's team to sub for Duncan. But it's Craig Waddell at 2, Robin Bryden at 3 and Ross Whyte at 4 as usual. Thank you, Tom Bryden, in the chat. I'm sure that's not a coincidence. Explaining that Robin had a shoulder surgery at end of April and just still taking care of that recovery. But I really don't think that has affected Team Whyte this weekend at all. As I said, Robin, a perfectly competent skip himself. I've seen them play in that order actually at World Mixed, when 2 men, 2 ladies play, and it was Robin that was at skip and Ross throwing second. So yeah, very versatile, this lineup. And I don't think that's affected them this weekend. They've been in excellent form as always. And just making Italy's life a bit difficult now in the 6th. That's a fine throw from Robin again. No access then to those 2 reds.
Siete pur piacere anche. Senza Pandem qua. Chissà, dovrebbe sempre fare così. No, quella lì è l'alternativa su questa.
And there's a little coda to Robin skipping this weekend. I did ask Craig Waddell, I said, what's it like sweeping with Ross as your sweeping partner? Of course, Ross normally skipping. And Craig graciously said he's pretty good for a skip.
Anche smoccavi questa, che fa solo un bel roll qua davanti.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
Se no, quella che l'ha appena
confirming it's not a coincidence that Tom Bryden is out there cheering for Robin Bryden and Team Whyte.
Con che velocità giù questo? Sì.
Chief Stuckey tells me that you are Papa Bryden, Robin's father. So you've just become a grandfather, so congratulations to you. I hope you're enjoying that time as well. So, well now, what a reversal. It's now Italy going for the difficult stuff, the angles, removing guards.
Oh, Joe. Oh, Nina. Nina. Oh, Joe.
Solo in full another.
Okay.
I'm not quite working out for the big man,
Come
but he does clear out the anti-clockwise handle.
That's going because they've shown me.
Three probably always slips under the pads.
And if anything,
Okay.
or you think it's red,
That was what I was thinking, like looking at the red, is like if he makes contact with that, does it always just...
what are we doing with stopping that?
I would...
Yeah, send observation of it.
Well, I thought it was like you can hook one in here. It probably makes it easy.
My first thought was just guards and kind of
Does this beat the...
That's not too bad though, too bad.
And over on sheet 4, I told you China wasn't going down without a fight. They did go ahead and score 2 in the 7th end.
I think it might beat them both. It's close.
They are now in their 8th end, and it is Bruce Mouat from Scotland leading China 5-4. But it is Mouat with the all-important
I think
last
this
stone.
might beat these two. So like, it probably means the
And
guard
you have to fancy that
probably fine.
Mouat's team will professionally finish the game out from here, but we've just seen how
Does that
quickly
make this
a game
easier?
can
Is he ever slashing hours
change
in to make...
in our featured game here.
My other thought was if you hook it here,
Yeah, Scotland in a nice position here. They really just want to make sure Joe Retornaz does not have access to any helpful stones with his 2 throws. We have 4 throws left. We're at
I think you got to be
4th
longer. If we're
throwers
throwing the guard, you have to be
in
longer.
the 6th end.
If he's trying to wrap around here,
Yeah,
then
I
we're
don't
just
see a reason
falling in and
not to
he's not
guard,
gonna
put a
shot.
guard up actually.
Full of mess. Full of mess.
I'd rather see that than see us go tight and slash this and stick it on, and then all of a sudden we're looking a little bit.
Ooh,
What do
on
you like,
sheet
Ross?
3,
What do you like?
nobody scored a 2. In the 6th end, nobody scored anything. It was a blank. And that means Yannick Schwaller taking on Yves Stocker and all Swiss affair. The score remains after 6 ends. Yannick Schwaller 6, Yves
How do we
Stocker
get them?
4.
Okay.
Teams in the chat wondering if Baby Bryden, pretty young for junior curling yet. But yeah, plenty of time for that. Another junior curler maybe on the way. You and Kyle also becoming a father for the first time. Just a couple of months apart, the little ones. So decision's been made. I think Ross is playing a guard, and you always say that.
Over and up then,
But
over and up.
if the rest of the team has done their job, 4th and or skip should only ever need to play a guard. So finally Ross Whyte's life getting a little bit easier. He has just played that guard, and Scotland
Non giocano a Pont.
lying very nicely here in the 6th.
Dopo provano a tirare qualcosa.
What does Iseli do now? stones to come. 2 from Iseli, 1 from Scotland, but Scotland have done a fantastic job in the 6th end of really blocking access to the 4-foot. Awaiting the winner of this game is Marco Hoesli.
Rama, Rama!
He's been off for about half an hour already, defeating Mark Muskatewitz's Germany team, the current European champions, but it was Hoesli's team dominating over there. They are first into the quarterfinals. Nope, they are first into the semi-finals, and that was 8 points to 1. And what a throw from Joe Retornaz. He has swung one in amongst 20 different stones over there, and they've judged that to perfection.
Ideally, that's where we go.
And oh boy, did he need a strong throw at that point.
Proprio una lenta, cioè manca la sensazione di spinta, una spinta diversa.
Bisogna ricordarsi che alla quinta mano, dopo la quarta mano è parlato. Però con quinta si arriva bene.
For Mouat's team, the other Scottish team, not having it all their own way.
I think it is just there for them. Like if he throws it.
Making their life difficult over there on sheet 4. But it is Mouat, the last stone in this 8th end.
He has to get to here though.
Two stones to come in our featured game. We're in end 6 of 8. If you're Scotland, what do you want to do just now with your last stone? You want to make sure that Joe Retornaz does not have the opportunity to score 2. You don't mind giving him 1. That would make the score overall 6-5 in your favour, and you would have last stone again.
No, perché questa non era mai
I'd rather see us catch underside and catch.
Well, you really
Pensavo
want
che
to give him 2 points.
per me di questa chiudere, ma no.
I wonder though, if you just follow Joel's stone that he just threw, is there a way for Italy to get 2 points there? I don't think I see it, but yeah, they're very concerned about using that stone on the wings there.
Good aim, Ross, because it's going to have to catch this fairly thin to get it over. Yeah?
No, adesso, visto che le cava, se deve sbagliare qualcosa che la cava, sta giocando sulla centrale.
This seems to be the shot they were talking about, using that red on the wings to pop over towards the centre.
La rossa, bang, la chop attack e la vende in.
Last throw for Ross Whyte in the 6th end.
Lean!
Ma quel che
Let's
prova.
see what he was talking about.
Carl!
Not that, I don't think.
Qual è che paga il meglio? Visto? Per Doi sempre. O quella centrale. E che questa non va mai. Quella centrale che aveva due opzioni. La ciapan così, la fa così anche.
Or maybe that was the plan all along, just to remove that red so that Italy couldn't use it themselves. Hard for me to see how Italy was using that to make 2. I think yeah, there's a yellow on the other side of the 4-foot that would count
Se la
first.
ciapan di così, sì.
But yeah, I'm not down on the
Però non
ice.
gasta tanto spazio. Se
You
giocassi
can see
quella lì.
everything better than
Più
me.
questa, deve essere anche la possibilità che la rossa la vai in qua e la fai doi. Sulle centrali, no?
On sheet 4, China running out of guards now. They need to steal one China in the 8th end to take it to an extra end.
No, sono d'accordo.
Well, the last guard out front has just disappeared, courtesy of Gone Hardy.
Abbastanza. Qua no, non è che non ce la farà mai questo, perché se tiriamo in sec che la fa così,
Bruce Mouat's team
però non vai mai in quella lì, è sempre per due il tiro.
Bruce Mouat's team has 1 foot in the semi-final.
Qua in realtà che aveva dato toccare il sassol con quella lì. Nove.
I don't think so. I don't think we can get it close enough. You can give us one.
Presumably playing a similar shot that he just played, Joel, on the anti-clockwise handle would not get him 2 points, so choosing instead to go for the angled raise. The red next to Mattia's brush there. Just punch that red back to the yellow on the forefoot.
Oh.
Mattia will know exactly where they need to touch, where they need to connect. Oh, what a shot, Joel! Big round of applause. The other Italian team here, Team Spiller, the men's junior world champions, here supporting their compatriots, and a huge round of applause from them and from everyone else. What a shot, yes, I want to see that one again. Yeah, Mattia right down at the level of the stone, knows exactly where they need to make contact. Such a difficult shot, but this is exactly what they called. Here it goes, red onto yellow, pop. What a shot. And oh boy, did they need that one. Well, we certainly picked the right game to watch, gang, didn't we? And what an important score that was. Leveling the game with a real magic score there of 2 points. Thank you, Robin, updating. And all of a sudden, scores are level again in our featured game. We're in the 7th end. It is Retornaz of Italy 6. Ross Whyte of Scotland 6.
Giù, c'è uno. È larga per uno. Giù. No, lì è buona.
Senso la centra così. Ok, Mattia.
Phew, so Mattia Giovanella has to get his breath back quickly. Can't afford to get excited about that 6th end. He has to steady himself, set up the 7th end, and he's done that very nicely. His first throw there, touching the centre line. We are playing the no-tick rule, so that's thrown from Mattia, protected by free guard zone and no-tick rule.
Just get it here. Just get it here.
Well, this yellow from
Really
Ewan
hard.
Kyle, plenty round that guard, nowhere near taking it off the centre line. So Ewan Stone also touching centre, but also touching the house, and that means
Di tre finore, però la gamma sta comoda quella lì. 3. Giù lì.
Well, I think they wanted that one a little bit deeper. That one just coming up a wee bit shorter than Ewan wanted.
La linea è buona. 2 colpi linea. Linea rama. Continua per linea. Linea buona. Linea buona.
Patient play.
Linea perfetta, continua rama.
Just being asked for a second guard on the centre
Brava,
line.
Mattia, bel tiro.
Mattia Giovanella, and he has done a lovely job for his teammates in this 7th end. What are our objectives in this 7th end? Well, as Tom rightly points out, Tom of the Rail announcements variety in the chat. It is
Mine's
very
good.
tense out there. We have
Mine's
two.
good. Stay close.
Both teams will be thinking ahead to the 8th end as well in terms of strategy. A decent outcome for Italy in this end would be forcing Scotland to score 1 point. That would make the overall score 7-6 to Scotland, but Italy would have last stone in the final end. And how do they do that? They do that by really forcing the issue here in the 7th end. That's why Mattia Giovanella being asked to put up 2 guards out front. What they don't want is for Scotland to have an opportunity to blank the end. That would be advantage Scotland. That would mean the scores were still level, but Scotland have last stone. So Italy would like to force the issue here in 7th. A score of 1 point to Scotland is fine for them. And then they would have the opportunity to try to score 2 with their last stone in the 8th. So that is surely what we'll see. That's fine. Sebastiano Arman. That's ahead of T, so that's still a stone they can use. But Robin Bryden, no hesitation. They do not want Italy to boss them around this end. They don't want Italy to force them to score something. And Craig Waddell being asked to get rid of some granite out front. Full beams.
Yep.
And he does move 2 Italian guards. That's a fine throw from Craig. That's borrowing Ewan Kyle's uniform there. That is Craig Waddell wearing his cap.
Sì, lei che non arriva in pieni, però se in realtà non è la Vergenno lei è male. Sì, no, capì, ma non arriva in pieni per via di questa. Ok, va bene, puoi giocarlo. Sì.
See Italy then just persisting with keeping stones in play, trying to force Scotland to score this end, and we will see Scotland do the reverse.
Giù Mattia.
And they judged that one beautifully. Look at that. That is a peach of a shot from Sebastiano Arman. Stealing one at this end, so picking up a point without last stone for Italy. That's okay too. Then we're in the classic situation where one team is a point behind, but they have last stone in the 8th end, and the other team obviously is a point ahead, but doesn't have last stone in the 8th end. Statistically, it's very much a 50-50 from there. I know Canadian people can't believe it, but it is. I'm a scientist, you can trust me. And certainly, this end currently looking a lot like somebody will be picking up 1 point. But another huge throw from Craig Waddell. Again, just trying to clear some space. And he's done a nice job with that again.
I touched that, I saw. Like, I think you moved it a little bit. Yeah, I think so. I think. You happy with that?
Looks like Robin just tripping over or backing into that yellow there. And the teams will just agree where it was.
Dovrebbe essere fuori. Come? Sì? Proprio qua. 6.
Yeah, we know this line.
5 anche
Okay,
ok.
just stick to this anti-clockwise handle, keep piling those reds in ahead of T. Like we said, 1 point to Scotland. That's okay for Italy. And Scotland, really, their objective is to just not be bossed around this end. if they have an opportunity to blank this end, they will
Linea buona.
definitely take it.
Linea.
And that's why Italy are trying to keep stones in play.
Solo velocità. Solo velocità. Oh, giù, 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 giù. Vai Rama, vai, vai, vai Rama, vai, 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 vai.
That is a fine throw from the Olympic mixed doubles champion, Amos Mazzana. Again, just keeping stones in play, forcing Scotland to do something about it. The whole team judging this one to perfection.
Long one then.
And meanwhile on sheet 4 we have our second semi-finalist. China putting up an excellent fight, but finally running out of stones. Scotland do not need to throw their last stone, and it is Bruce Mouat's team, the defending champions, the world champions, who will progress to tomorrow morning's semi-final. They defeat China 5 points to 4. So congratulations to Bruce Mouat's team. They are awaiting the winner on sheet 3. And that is Yannick Schwaller.
Yep.
Handshakes in the 7th end over there. We'll come back to that in a second, but a pile driver from Robin Bryden, and all of a sudden the blank looking a bit more possible.
Uffi in questo. 10.
Very important that Italy's stones hit and stick now. We don't want to hit and roll out. That is handing the advantage to Scotland, who will be looking for a blank end. And they judge that beautifully. 2 reds, well separated. That's exactly how you may be able to force Scotland to score here.
All right, sorry. They were like 11, just to be sure. I like 11.
One semi-final, the lineup is clear. We will have Yannick Schwaller's Swiss champions. They will represent at Olympics, and they will be up against Bruce Mouat's team from Scotland. Vice champions, silver medalists at the last Olympics, defending champions here. It will be a replay of last year's final. We have 3 semi-finalists. Marco Hoesli's team, of course, off the ice first. And who is going to join them?
Anche un barrel.
I kicked like nothing.
Ma non è abbastanza,
Could not be tenser out there.
12?
One semi-final, we already know, will be Swiss versus Scotland. There is another Swiss team awaiting the winner here. Will it be another Scottish team, or will it be the Italians?
Oh.
That's a lovely throw from Joe Retornaz. He wants to try to stop Scotland being able to blank this end and keep last stone advantage for the 8th end. And for the time being,
High 11's 12.
I don't think there's a double takeout available for Ross Whyte with his first throw in the 7th end.
Non la butta fuori, ok?
We definitely picked the right game to watch. A replay of this morning's final round robin. It was the Italians who were victorious this morning and could really go either way still this evening.
Lane. Lane. Yep. Lane. Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
That is a real nice throw from Ross Whyte. It's just close enough to that red to maybe get into your head. You can see it. You can see all of the yellow, but yeah, it's very close to that red. And sometimes that can get into your head a bit. You don't want to throw inside the brush and have it curl onto your own red stone. And that's why Ross wanted to place the yellow there. That's his best chance to get a mistake from Retornaz.
Sì? A 11 non è male, penso. K10 forse sì. Sì. Ok, dammi il jump.
Two stones left. Here comes the first of them.
Oh, clean.
Retornaz trying to remove that yellow.
Giù, Rama. Giù, Rama. Giù.
Set up a double takeout situation. So he wants to roll as far away from that red as he can. Rosanna straight on the brush there, trying to get as good separation as he can. Has he done enough? Yeah, it's worth Ross Whyte going for the double takeout here, if it's possible. I can't see him missing the pair of reds and giving one red to Italy.
I think for the chance of getting a blank.
Not too bad.
I would think so, yeah. Should be.
Yeah, you heard him say there's a chance of getting a blank. That's perfect for Scotland.
I don't think
a 1 to Italy, not the end of the world.
Half stones, very close. Yep.
No, poi il cavea quella lì che l'ha fermata lì. Ho pensato di giocare in punto invece che una boccia bianca. Mattia l'aveva già manco la guardia, di la verità.
Ross Whyte thinks there's a double there, is possible. And in kind of a worst case, probably just giving up one. So huge weight. Those two reds are fairly flat. He does make contact with both, but doesn't quite find the angle. But worth a try. As he said, he really would have liked a blank end, but giving one to Italy, not the end of the world. That means we do indeed have our classic situation where a steal of a point for Italy there means it is Retornaz of Italy 7, Ross Whyte of Scotland 6 after 7 ends. We have the classic situation of being one team, Italy, being +1 without hammer, and one team, Scotland, being -1 with hammer. Can you say extra end? We have 3 semi-finalists already. There is one more spot available. Well, we have at least one more end to decide it, and an extra end if needed.
Io buona. Non sei mai stretti, sei tendenzialmente larghi con questa. Sarà per rama. È per rama questa. È larga. Sempre larga. Sempre larga.
Objective for Italy then, pretty similar actually to N7.
14-08.
They know that Scotland will be going all out to score 2 here. Scotland don't really want to just score 1 and then go to extra end. Scotland will be working as hard as they can to give themselves a chance at 2.
Yep.
So their objective pretty similar to the 7th end. They would be happy to steal this end and finish the game here. But a maximum of 1 point to Scotland is okay for Italy. And the way to limit Scotland's scoring is exactly as we've seen, and that is to target that centre area, target the 4-foot. Mattia Giovanella's had a super game. He's hardly put a stone wrong. Neither has you and Kyle, to be fair. And this looks very nice again from the Italian. He's really finding that centre line as well to keep his stones protected by no tick rule. Mattia Giovanella's job here is done. Well, at least in this end. And as we quite often see, the lead players pretty much ignoring each other's shots.
Good to go. Good to
you
go.
and Kyle simply setting up this end for his teammates.
Get it tight.
He's drawing in a shot away from the centre, and
like
it will be up to his teammates now to clear out the centre for Ross Whyte's final throw. I'm not sure if that's what they called though, the Scots. A double guard is fine, but I'm not sure that's what they called. Maybe wanted that a little bit further in, more close to tee. Double guard, not the end of the world, and apologies if that was what they called. I didn't see the final call there. Same drill for Italy. Sebastiano Arman being asked to again attack the centre.
Linea buona. Linea buona, larga. Clean, clean. Pronto giù, Mattia.
Hard, 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 hard.
No tick rule as well as free guard zone now over.
Okay.
And to that point,
Yeah,
we see Robin Bryden immediately indicating, do we want to clear up the centre?
Yeah.
Just a quick look at the situation on the top iPad there. That is the overhead camera from the other end. Craig Waddell then subbing in for Duncan McFadden this weekend.
We only. Carve.
And doing a super job. Craig's normal team with his brother, Kyle Waddell. Went all the way to the last stone in their round robin game, but Kyle not quite qualifying, and that is a pity for Craig. That stone just not wanting to curl, and he's frustrated with that one. That is a pity. Same idea then for Sebastiano Arman. Keep attacking the centre.
Linea buona. Linea.
I don't have that in my bingo card.
Linea buona.
Some reassurance to Craig Waddell.
Linea perfetta.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4 beautiful stones. Look, every single one touching that centre line.
turn you
This
like?
is very nice play from Italy.
Okay. Yeah, I think you gotta go this way. It's just what turn you be like.
So if Scotland want to score anything, they have a whole heap of granite out front currently.
Oh, Carl. Carl. Oh, straight.
Big throw from Craig Waddell. Just getting the one though.
Alta.
A bit of a great wall of Italia building up out front there. That is exactly what Italy want. As we said, a score of 1 to Scotland would simply level the score, take us to an extra end, and it would be Italy with last stone in an extra end. They, of course, would rather finish the game here, but
Linea buona. Oh,
an
se
extra
passa.
end would be okay for
Rama.
them. They would have
È
last
per
stone.
Rama. Sempre giù. Aiuta.
So Olympic mixed doubles champion Amos Mazzana, very used to throwing these delicate weight shots towards the centre.
Devi spostare bene così,
And I think Scotland need to just persist with trying to make themselves a space at the moment. Not straightforward even to score 1.
No, the guards can stay. It's just
So a big throw again from Robin Bryden. The Scotland middle order. Just having to clear space, and oh dear, it's done kind of the same again. Just picking off that long guard close to the hog line, but not really clearing itself out, and Robin frustrated with that one.
Al momento Gatta qua a me, no? Ma poteva la bucciare anche magari. Ah, okay.
You picked the right game to watch. The other 3 games already decided. 3 semi-finalists already cleared. They are Martin Hoesli's
secondo
team
me
from
no.
Switzerland,
Poi
Yannick
chiaro,
Schwaller's team
pian
from
pianello lo
Switzerland,
va
Bruce
volendo, ma
Mouat's team
non
from
se.
Scotland. There is one more semi-final place up for grabs.
Che giugalo qua. E lo rigiocherà quella lì adesso. L'unica, se volevi mettere che l'una qua,
Will
che da fare
it
2
be
tiri
another
per la
Scottish
verga.
team or our one remaining Italian team?
Capì? Cos'è che può fare con questo? No, forse era di nuovo. Qua secondo me se fa in questo
Joel really trying to consider every single shot that Scotland could do.
Sì, e non giocherà questo. Ok. Quel che
Not
dicevo
a
io è
nice
che se
situation
gioca
for
una
Scotland
qua,
at the moment, but
qua
they do
la
have
gira un
stones
po'
out
così,
front.
il gabbiano dei 2 tiri
And
per divergere su
if you could
quelle
get
robe
the
lì.
right angle
Su quei dicevo.
on, for example, that little yellow that's kind of sitting on its own on the sponsor logo there, if you could get the right angle on that, you could potentially get one in behind a whole heap of
La
cover.
guardia vedendo un po', però adesso non
Almost like
gatta.
Italy have too many guards out front now.
Sì.
Slide a bit wide and duck it back in. Maybe.
Vabbè. 11. Sì, ma c'ha per spina.
And indeed, Joel, not like liking the look of that little yellow that's just primed to be used to push back into the forefoot. So final throw of the 8th end. Will it be the final throw of the game for Amos Mazzana? Just being asked to just remove that slightly dangerous yellow. That's fine. And in this case, replacing it with a red is all that's needed. You're still quite happy to block that path. but Ross Whyte will not be using that red to drive back into the 4-foot because it's not his stone
I can
anymore.
definitely get one of them.
Tenendo come che stai.
So Scotland still with some work to do to even score 1 here.
Can you make it off the yellow that's on the left of the two?
Manca se fa così la
Can you run the yellow that's on the
rolla,
left of the two
lui
are
tocca
long?
quello e dopo lo tende via.
But not the center. Like to get the two in the house. No, the other one. Okay.
Scotland need to make a good decision here.
It's whatever you see, Ross.
Whatever you see, Ross,
Nothing looks easy.
says the team. And poor old Ross just looking at a wall of granite at the moment.
I think at this point, though, it's whatever Ross wants to see.
No easy shots, that's for sure.
Oh, yellow, red. Yellow, red.
Not sure what the final call is. Is it some sort of quadruple raise? Yellow, red, red, red. Well, it's certainly coming at pace. And he's cleared a bit of space, Robin. But I think that yellow is probably still blocking the clockwise handle. I like where Amos Mazzano is indicating. I think, yeah, just block that handle completely. Right there, please. And surely Ross Whyte already summoning himself to draw the pin with his final throw in this end. This end just not going Scotland's way.
Secondo me se la fino a squadra un quarto della centrale non lo dà.
I think this 8th end taking about as long as the previous 7 combined. But not surprising. A lot at stake here. So I think the call is just the guard here, where Amos was indicating just to block that clockwise handle.
No, linea no, mai. Per Rama questa, per Rama. Linea buona.
They've got the line spot on there. That is a lovely throw from Joe Retornaz. Really trying to lock the door to Scotland. And if Ross Whyte can draw the pin with his final throw, good for him.
He's going to float out here, that's the only thing.
Italy's objective, though, as we said, is to try to make sure that Scotland cannot win the game from here. That means Scotland cannot score 2. Scotland scoring 1 is acceptable for Italy. That would take them to an extra end where they would have last stone. Well, currently, if Scotland even want to score 1, they need to do something about at least one of those reds.
I'm seeing a hair thicker than 3/4.
And oh boy, this is quite the angle that Ross Whyte is being forced to. I think Mattia Giovanella just borrowing some of the ice on sheet 3 over there. Well, if you love curling, you would love to see this shot come off. Certainly nobody has thrown anywhere near this wide. Oh, and yeah, that's well picked up by you and Kyle. As soon as the stone touches the line, it's actually out of play. So Ewan, quite rightly, just kind of kicking it off to the side there. And yeah, now the only thing to do is to lock the door on the anti-clockwise handle as well. And force Ross Whyte to a Hail Mary just to get to an extra end. I believe in Scottish curling, actually, the rule is slightly different, that you can touch the line at the side, as we just saw that stone do, but if the stone curls back into play again, you can just leave it. I think that's a rule in Scottish curling, at least it used to be, but in world curling, as soon as the stone touches the side, it is out of play. I don't think I've ever seen a stone thrown that wide before, as in not wide of the brush, just wide in general. So final throw of the 8th end. Will it be the final throw of the game for Italian skip Joe Retornaz? They had to beat Ross Whyte this morning just to qualify for quarterfinals. They were only on 2 wins at that point. They had to get past him this morning. And all they can do is set themselves up here in the 8th end, and they've done that beautifully.
It was just, I like the slide, just, yeah. Slide was good.
And Rob Brydon again, sitting with his broom, I think about as wide as I've ever seen a shot called. Almost having to borrow someone else's ice over there. But Ross Whyte will have a second attempt at this one. Yellow onto yellow, directing it back onto the forefoot. This for an extra end. A brave effort from Ross. They kept it in this time, but finally a sigh of relief from Sebastiano Arman. What a game that was. We surely picked the right quarter-final to watch, but finally that will be a steal of 2. It hardly matters. The point is that was a win in the 8th end for Italy, a sigh of relief to them. What a battle that was. Not many teams, I don't think, can say that they have beaten Ross Whyte's team twice on the same day. I think not too many teams can say they've beaten Ross Whyte's team twice for any reason. So hard luck to the Scots there. I think the Italians probably just about edging it for me. They had a real bright start, the Italians, and then Scotland really rallying. But just a little bit more precise, closing that game out, and we have our 4th semi-finalist. So, lining up tomorrow at 9 o'clock European time, it will be Marco Hoesli's team of Switzerland will be against Joe Retornaz's team of Italy, and Yannick Schwaller's team will be against Bruce Mouat's team, a rerun of last year's final. That's your 2 semi-final lineups. Hoesli of Switzerland versus Retornaz of Italy, Schwaller of Switzerland versus Mouat of Scotland. We saw 4 very different quarterfinals. Very tense one that we were following here on sheet 2. And Joel just putting the score up for us. Thank you very much. We will be down to 4 teams still standing tomorrow. 2 Swiss, 1 from Scotland, 1 from Italy. Come back and join us at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, European. Yeah, I'll bet they're happy to get that one in the bag. A really strong performance by Italy. Come back and see how they do against Marco Hoesli's team, unbeaten so far in the competition. Schwaller and Mouat also unbeaten so far in the competition. So come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock for semi-finals. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Bye for now.